Welcome to Life with Paulette. Hope all is well with you guys. How is everybody doing today? Tuesday, Reset Tuesday. How is everybody coming along with their reset? Did you try something on your old list that you were about to, you know, dash into for this year, this week, this month? What's going on? I mean, my hair is getting on my nerve. And you'll probably be like, Paulette, why you have your hair like this all the time? Because every time I'm going to the gym, trying to work in these few extra calories that needs to be burnt off so that I could deflood myself. And this is the best style that keeps my hair together. Once you see me put this up, no sweat, the sweat is less likely to, get in there and mess it all up. So bear with me as I play with this bunch of little kinkiness here. My hair shrink like nothing. I could tell you this. It's basically all the way like down like here, but it shrinks up. And because I don't care about no hair and no length anymore, I just tuck it. How's that look? All right, let's see what's going on. Hey, Jinx, welcome into Life with Paulette. Hello. Listen, Mrs. TNT. I got in trouble the other day for calling you Miss TNT, but let me tell you something, okay? Let me say one thing to you. On my island, where I come from, it's three ways. You can say the MS, MIS, S, and the MRS, okay? So somebody that flew out all the way from Africa to come and tell me that I said the wrong miss, okay? But let me say something. When I say miss, I'm not use your first name, okay? On my island, we don't say Mrs. Barberly. We say Miss Barberly, okay? That's where I'm from. I went to English school too, When I say your last name, I would use Mrs., but I know how to write it correctly, okay? So I want to clarify for the person that flew all the way from Africa to come to my page to tell me that I said Miss TNT instead of saying Mrs. TNT. I ain't going to say Mrs. TNT. I say Miss because TNT is not a name. That's just his name he goes by. So in my analysis mentally, I didn't take it as anything but to clarify out there. So don't get all offended when you come onto my page and you're looking for perfect English or perfect whatever. You may get your feelings hurt, okay? So I just wanted to say that, Miss TNT, okay? I know you're a missus. I know you're married. I know it, okay? However, though, I just want everybody to know that I love you guys. Thank you all for chiming in. Let's see who we got up in here. We got some M-Jobs. Oh, thank you, my little Mickey Mouse. I just explained why I do the Mickey Mouse thing because normally my hair is all the way down here and my goal is to go to the gym every day. That's the goal, but I didn't went today. So I just want to explain to you guys that today life been lifing and Paulette had to do some adulting, and that's why you see me here right now chatting with you guys because I'm taking a break, okay? And in the meantime, I wanted to come back and go back to a few days ago of whatever happened, and somebody decides, I don't know how some folks come out of the woodworks to try to come to your page to send you private messages or come on your page to try and correct your page. Leave people alone. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to continue to say this. Like, let people be. Let people grow on their timing. And if you want to come off as Mr. Mighty or Miss whatever, or Mr. whatever, then keep it in the Joneses, okay? Not over here. We are a very relaxed page over here on Life with Paulette. We kick back, we relax. We're going to laugh a little. We're going to cry a little. Well, we cry a lot over here sometimes. This is the less I've cried. Last year, I did a whole lot of crying. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of dust up in this room, in this car, everywhere. There was a lot of dust, okay? But right now, life been lifing, and I'm not going to come over here and sugarcoat it with you guys. It's been some things, okay? There's things that Paulette's been going through. It's just that my attitude towards certain situation is different compared to other people, how they respond to things. I'm working on my response a little bit better. And I just want you all to know that not just because I come on here and I'm all like, yay, woo, woo, is everything is perfect. No, it's not. We got to go through the trenches. We got to push through a lot. Some days we push through more than others. On this side, I just came out of a 2 weeks worth of flood warnings, and a lot of areas was affected by the flooding. People lost their homes. People are homeless right now due to this rain, this bad weather in Hawaii that 20 years and it just hit. We had tsunami watch. We had, hurricane watches. We had a whole bunch of watches and nothing happened, guys. And I just want you all to know the people was not expecting it. Have you all heard of that little cartoon, that the cry wolf? And then all of a sudden, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, and nobody paid him any mind, and the sky was falling. Or we say the wolf is gonna eat me, the wolf is gonna eat me, and everybody said, whatever, you've been playing so much with it, and then the wolf ate him. So that was us. Everything that came or was coming through Hawaii, we were like, nothing happens anyway, whatever. And then all of a sudden, guys, a little rain for a week decided that Mother Nature said, okay, I'm going to show you all this time. Okay, this time it's going to happen. And let me tell you, it went from one storm, it finished up. And then the next day, another storm came in and hit again. And that was the one that just broke the camel's back. It ended up flooding. All the dams opened up. The rivers overflowed. You had people that was just mudslides and stuff. Keep praying for Hawaii. We are still going through it. Thank God that, I did not have a lot of effect besides a little flood here and there, but I stayed home. But most people was not able. Some folks still had to go to work, especially those that own businesses, that their businesses was flooding, because the area that really flooded was down on the east side and the north side, and that's where all of the businesses is at, so they were flooded out, and they probably lost thousands of dollars worth of things and stuff that they can't resell and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, guys, I just want you to know that keep us in prayer. You guys are still freezing. Can you hear me still? Or are you all still freezing? Let me know. Are you all like freezing? Pause. Let me know. I just want everybody to make sure I'm seeing somebody saying that they're freezing. If y'all are freezing, I don't know. I'm on my second phone, so it should be good to go. However, though, the devil is always busy, especially when it comes to me and this media. It will just freeze up or mute you guys in 2 seconds. So just keep me posted on what's going on in these streets here. Let me go into these comments. I see all you are laughing. Oh, now we're starting again. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Yesterday, for those that enjoyed, yesterday was another day. Guys, I think yesterday was the first day that I left my house since all the drama with the rain and the warnings and all that craziness and the floodings. And, I decided I wanted to treat myself. So for those that didn't watch that video, go watch it and get yourself a nice little stomach full of laugh. You'll enjoy it. Trust me. I told you all, when you come over here, you're going to get a little bit of laugh. You're going to get a little bit of crying, encouragement, inspiration, depending on which day it is and how is it that I'm feeling at that moment. I'm going to share my daily haps with you guys. Okay, my daily haps. I'm going to share that with you guys for sure. I like the Mickey Mouse hair. MJ said, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is my go-to style. It's been my go-to style since forever. I normally used to we call it like buns. When you put quarter, we say quarter, where you roll your hair and then you make like a big bun. So I will put it up, but in Hawaii, they put it in the center. But because, I prefer to put it together, because once I merge my hair together, I don't know what's going on with my 4C hair. It just starts to like get a lot of fuzz. It fuzzes up, so I have to separate it. Like this side is more thicker than this side, and this side gets mad, and all of a sudden it starts to like frizz up, so I separate them. Yes, girl, my hair have attitude too. I'm telling you. Alrighty, let's see. Safe journey. Thank you, Miss Sisters. Amen, sis. They definitely need to stop being overzealous and over righteous. Yes, they need to stop being overzealous and over righteous. Like, I'm getting to the point where it's annoying. It's annoying. Okay, if I have one cross eye, you mean to say you're going to call me out and tell me I have a cross eye, which I know many of y'all will do. But at the end of the day, I don't care. I really don't care if you see me with one cross eye and the other one twisted. It's okay. It is what it is. However, though, you don't have to try to think that you're proving a point by what? Why? That's the same individual that went and sent me a private message telling me that I needed to end my prayer with Jesus Christ instead of Jesus. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of you. Okay, I'm sick of you and you need to leave me alone. And a lot of times, I come on these YouTube streets. I'm not here to bother nobody. I ain't here to talk about nobody. I'm here to talk about me. I'm here to share with you all my day and my struggles or what I'm going through, hoping that somebody else out there is probably going through the same thing and we could all lean on each other and cry and laugh about it and go about our business. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be where everybody's trying to use you as their project in holiness. I don't need to be nobody's project. I'm God's project. He's going to chisel me the way he needs to chisel me. I don't need no extra person that is out there that I don't even know. I don't know you to come in and tell me anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I would take criticism from someone that I feel, hey, I think I know you at least in the chats, but I really don't know certain individuals to come and trying to tell me about what Mrs. and MS, MISS and MRS and how you should say it. Like, that's disgusting. Okay, so keep your little stuff to yourself. I don't need it. I don't need nobody coming over here. I know what I need to do. And if you don't like my vibe, it's fine. It's understandable. A bitty good eve. Bye-bye. I understand. I mean, many times you come on, sometimes you're up 10 and next minute you're down 10. And this is YouTube streets. It's like taking a shower and changing your bra or something or your underwear. People come, people go. Paulette don't care. Paulette, don't worry about it. This YouTube channel is not something where I'm putting all my bread and my coins in like, oh my gosh, may I explode one day. It don't bother me. My focus is not on YouTube, okay? I have other dreams and goals that I'm focused on. I have other things that's my main priority. YouTube is the fun where I come on and I laugh with you guys. I share my thoughts. I share with you guys how my day is going. I get a chance to hear from you guys. Sometime in the chat, you guys blaze it up with great conversations, and that's something that can help push somebody on their walk a little bit farther. But you're going to come and start chiseling down and gaslighting and throwing matches. Keep it to yourself and stay off of my page, okay? Because I ain't perfect over here. Okay, I always tell you all, I ain't perfect, but don't come over here. I'm not going to go to nobody's page to try and tell them what shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and what they should do and what they should say and who and how they should say things better. We need to stop doing it, and we need to start respecting other people and their stuff and focus on yourself. Work on you. Work on chiseling you and your little attitude, and work on fixing you with your bad behaviors that you've been carrying on for the last whatever years, decades. Okay, work on you. I ain't trying to bring nobody down. If anything, the only thing Paulette gonna be down is to try to pick you up. That's all. That's all. I ain't trying to tear nobody down. Everybody be in your life for a season and for a reason. And when that person is no longer in your life at that moment, you think about the memories that you created and a bitty good eve. You wish the best for them and keep moving. Why are you sitting there just trying to tear somebody down? To me, that is a lack of self, okay? You just have nothing else to do and you have no morals and no self confidence in yourself. You just got to focus on everybody else and their demise. No, not here. Not here. We don't do that over here. No, we don't. We don't. So pick your little self back up. And by the way, you should have just deleted that because you sound crazy. And then move on. Find somebody else that you could go ahead and pickpocket at. But don't come over here pickpocketing me. Okay, I tolerated that last year. I'm already 1 year into holiness, still working on me. I ain't perfect. However, though, I would never, even if I wasn't in holiness, go on nobody's personal stuff to try to chisel them and to make them become my project to see how good I'm doing based upon somebody else's demise. Stop it. Y'all need to stop it, okay? It don't look good. It ain't cool. And if you started off in the truth and you're no longer in the truth, I bid you good eve to you. I don't have no time to be worried about you. I got to worry about me. I'm focused on me and my salvation. I'm focused on me and my growth and making sure that I'm not the old Paulette of yesterday. I need to continuously keep chiseling away and being the Paulette that God wants me to be for him and on his journey. Okay? Not worried about you. So leave people alone. Let everybody work out their devils for themselves. Okay? All you can do is pray for them. Just pray for them. Okay? So yes, leave those overzealous and all those little ones over there that feeling like they're so over righteous. Y'all need to stay off of people's stuff. Leave people alone. Okay? Leave people alone. Let them figure it out for themselves. I think many people start in the truth and they fall by the wayside because all of the classic overzealous individuals just push them out. And remember, when we coming into the truth and you're new, you're like a mosquito looking for blood. You're empty. So any little thing will swing you all over the place. Okay? You have to be a really tough mosquito with bones in order to survive on this holiness journey. Okay? You gotta have bones. And I'm saying you gotta be strong. Have you ever seen a mosquito, you hit it and all of a sudden it's like, kee, and it flies off and it comes back again, kee, you can't get rid of it? Well, that's how you want to be in holiness. But most people, they try to smash you before you could even get in the door. Leave people alone. Let them grow on their own. Let them get their own mosquito bones and they'll fly how they want to fly and they can suck on the blood that they want to suck, how long they want to suck. Don't tell nobody that that's enough. You need to move to the next person. Now, leave people alone. Let me go and unplug my car, guys. Give me 1 second. You state that note right there because Paulette is a little bit lit today. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so like I was saying, a lot of time you open up your social media page, everybody going following you. You don't know them. You just see that I guess they're connected to this person, that person, or they're part of the truth. And I guess I'll follow them back or add them as a friend. But you don't know them. But most of them is just going on to hustle your page. They want to go and see, I wonder if this person, what are they doing? Just so they can come and correct you and make you become one of their project. Why are you listening to that? You should have listened to that. That person is a Trinitarian. That person is another thing. That person is another thing. People is going to be people and people is going to do how they want to do things. You're not the Almighty to come and tell people how they must let go of their bad behaviors and off their old self. In due time and prayer, they will let go of their old self. So that's all I have to say today. See, I got wind up because that individual not only went on my YouTube page, he also went on my Facebook page to tell me I needed to add Jesus Christ up in there. And when I end my prayer, telling me how to pray. How dare you come in my page to tell me how to end with Jesus Christ? I know who Jesus is. At least I got that part right through the truth. I know who's the Father. So why are you coming on here? You should know who the Father is too. But then why is it that you're going to come and tell me that my prayer that I post from the bottom of my heart didn't end with the Christ? Like if you don't know the difference. Oh, anyway, and you're supposed to be part of the truth. Leave people alone. And especially me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me be. I already told y'all, I am not perfect, but I'm striving. And leave me in my little 2 little 3 little 4 little stuff that I need to work on, that I know I need to work on. But I don't need you to be coming trying to point me out like if you're doing something. Work on you. Because let me tell you, I could name off a whole lot of your stuff that you need to work on. Shoo. Oh, anyway, the devil always trying you, just trying you. But not today. Not today. I know he was lying. He lying today. I know he lie every day. But I'm just saying, sometimes people, you just got to put them in their place. So stay in your lane, stay in your place, find yourself your own little project okay, but not me. Okay, I have a husband, and if I need to be corrected, he will correct me. All right, because he's the man in my house. I don't need no other man coming in there telling me in my DMs what I need to do and what I need to post and who I should listen to. You find yourself a wife and you tell her what to do, but leave Paulette alone. That's all I have to say for you know who you are. Thank you very much. Um, Sister Nicole said, sis, was it in certain parts of Hawaii? Yes, the flood was in certain parts of Hawaii, sis. Actually, the whole island was raining. The whole island was under warning, north, east, central, west, everywhere was under warning. And basically what happened was some areas that was not on the high hillsides, they had to be evacuated. They lost a lot of what they call it now. They lost a lot because they had to evacuate, leave their houses, and the water just, just pushed through. Mother Nature did its course. And yeah, so right now, if you go on any of the Hawaii websites or anything, you'll be seeing a lot of people. It's very family oriented over here. Everybody love to help one another. There's groups of people, individuals that's volunteering to go into those people's towns to help them clean out all the mud, all the excess water that's been running through their house to see what they can salvage, So it's heartbreaking, guys. It's heartbreaking. It's not easy to just wake up one day and just for one big storm that went all day nonstop, it caused all the little rivers or lakes or whatever was out there to just overflow. The day before, which was the Wednesday, you remember I posted my pictures that I went to the icy pond. That whole pond just erupted. It just got so full. It ran over and ran into neighborhoods. And the good thing is the ones that was on the hill, the water just flowed through. But imagine the ones that had to catch it in the bottom. They went through the worst of it. So yes, Miss TNT said, yes, in Washington, it's still freezing. Oh, well, kudos to you, sister. Kudos to you. Let me see. A. Brown said, God bless you, Sister Paulette. Hope all is well. Greetings to the mods and everyone. Hey, Sister Brown, all is well over here. Just sometimes you just got to come in with that little bob and weave, to make sure that people know to stay in their lane. Because, Okay. Today was my body comeback, so I just came out to let y'all know that don't come over here. Don't take advantage of this now. There's some niceness. There's 99%, but that 1%, I don't even like her. So I just let you all know that. Hello, Brother Jeremy. What's going on? Yes, you can make perfect through Christ. Amen, brother. You can. With lots of prayers, you definitely can make perfect. But, in time, change don't just happen overnight. Change happen a little bit every day, okay? Especially if you want to make the change for the better. If you want to make the change for the better, you don't wake up, boom, and say, if like an alcoholic could say, I want to change, they could start the progress, but that little devil is going to be in there just being like, you want some, you want some, just taste it, it's going to go and it's going to come, it's going to go and it's going to come, but 1 minute, it's going to come a point in time when you pray about it and you're fighting that devil that you no longer, you could see it and it don't bother you. Or people that smoke, or people that just have behaviors and habits that they did all their life. They created a negative path for their lives. It's going to take a minute for them to unrelease themselves from it. But through Christ, you're right. Anything is possible. And that's the good thing. That's why I love God, I love the Lord. Oh, yes. Thank you for loving me. Yes, indeed. Sister Abram said greetings. Brother Jeremy, yes, well said. So Jeremy said, well said, sister. Amen. Well, good to see you, Brother Jeremy. Good to see you. It's always great to see, my brothers here in the comments. I've been I've been what they call hiatus for the longest because life been lifing, and sometimes when life be lifing, YouTube is on your last mind. I could just let y'all know that. Real talk, okay? YouTube is your last resort because nobody want to just come on here all the time and give you all the, hi, everything is perfect. No, sometimes you in the hustle. Sometimes you probably got to work a little extra. You're doing things, behind the scenes. So silence sometimes is good. I'm in my silent mood sometimes, but I love you all too much to stay away. So at the end of the day, it's like, it is what it is. Holiness After Hours. Hello, Brother TNT. How are you today? And a lot of the things too, like I said, I've been on the, MIA. I've lost track. I don't even know what's going on at this point in time. I just know through my DMs, y'all need to leave me alone. Thank you very much. Leave me alone. They're getting too bombastic with it. Okay? Back off, bruh. Back off. Okay? Back off. There you go. Yes. God bless you, Sister Paulette. Oh, thank you, Brother TNT. God bless you too. God bless you too, brother. Every so often I'll go on there. On Brother TNT. By the way, you've been doing some amazing works. I still have to go and catch up on the last one that you did, on your channel with dating and holiness. I didn't get a chance to catch up to that. Guys, don't hold it to my heart, the head, okay? Blame the head. I have all the good intentions to go. I got to support my brothers. I got to support my sisters. But life has been lifing, and Paulette is going to be still at this moment in time in her life because that's the right thing to do. Okay. So y'all don't need to know all the history, all what's going on, but life has been lifing. And no, I'm not getting a divorce. My husband and I are, we're going on 25 years of marriage, Oh my God, that man, that's my heart. That's my heart. Peace be, sister. Yes. Peace, blessing, Brother TNT. Okay. They're talking. Greetings. Peace, BJD. I pray you all and your families are doing well. Yes, we are doing well. We live on the high of the island. So I do live up a valley. So I'm out of the evacuation zone. I'm pretty much in the I'm in the safe zone. But the people that live like on the beach, I live a mile from the beach. So that's the good thing, But there's people that's on the beaches that had to be evacuated, or people that live right around the road, the highway that is on lower grounds. They're the one that was mostly affected. Hello, Patrick T. How are you doing today? Hope all is well with you. Blessings. I'm going through these comments. Let's see what I missed. Abram, welcome into Life with Paulette, everyone. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button. Scripture says to run the race that ye may obtain the prize. You run at your pace, Sister Paulette. Yes, brother. And I'm running at my pace. I'm not allowing nobody to try to push me, because a lot of times it's like trying to bake a cake and you're rushing it. It's going to fall. Have you all made that analogy of frying chicken and you miss a skip an ingredient? Lord forbid you skip the salt in the chicken is ruined. If you skip the flour, it's not fried chicken. Like, you got to go through certain steps, guys. And I feel like a lot of time when you decide to come in holiness, it's not a popcorn effect. It takes time, and people's going to fall off, and the Lord's going to lick them backside the head. It may take a while, but they're going to come back to the truth. They're going to come back to what is right, because that's the way it was ordained to do. The devil can't win the whole time, but in that process, just pray for people. Don't try to go in there overzealously and try to be over righteous and control individuals by no, pray for them. because they're in a moment in time of confusion in their lives. And that's where the delusion will step in, and the devil love when we are in that fear of and the delusion part where he can keep us and hold us hostage. Just pray for people. Sometimes do a little secret fast for people and pray and call out their names so they can be released from whatever bondage they're in. But I don't want to kick a brother nor a sister down that decided that they're in a delusional space of their life. I think as a newcomer to holiness, I've learned that it's best to pray for people, and that's all I'm going to say. I don't see pastor over there kicking them down and wishing them, he cries when he got to talk about the people that fell by the wayside. It hurts. Because you expect a certain expectations, you already grown onto certain individuals, like they become your that's your brother, that's your sister, and then all of a sudden, the devil steps in and things happen. People change, people see differently. But at the end of the day, God is love. And I understand that there's consequences to certain decisions that we make, but I don't want to be the hater individual. I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of love. I want to be a part of where I'm going to pray for whoever or whatever. And I would love somebody to do the same thing for me. Not come on my page and tell me that I said something that was not correct. Pastor had a whole sermon where he said people told him that he didn't even know how to talk. And he said, but I don't care. He said, but you're going to hell. I'm so glad for the sermons that, you could go and you can listen to and you can identify, with what he is saying, and you're needed to fill in that portion of your life. I love that. And when he said that, I just laughed because I was like, yeah, sometimes that's just all you need to do is hear a nice little sermon and let the devil know that I see you over there. I see what you're trying to do, but you ain't gonna win this time. And that's about it. But yes, Brother Jeremy, just everything is going to happen at your pace. Nobody needs to be rushing anything. Patrick T say, amen. Never bother Sister Paulette. She is loved by many. Oh, Brother T, Patrick T, thank you. Well, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and it's okay. Because Paulette has a hide of a rhinoceros, it don't bother me. If you think you're bothering me, I'm sorry. God bless your heart, okay? You ain't bothering me. I have come to the conclusion in my life that I'm going to continue to be Paulette. And I'm not going to love nobody to change me from being me, okay? However, though, if somebody don't like me, well, welcome to the club of don't liking Paulette. You either going to like me or you don't like me. And it's okay, because guess what? It ain't my business. It ain't my business if you don't like me. It's your miserable self, okay? Because Paulette loved me. I love me. So I don't care who don't love me. And that's the thought process. That's the concept of life. I'm not worried about who like me to the right or to the left. I'm not worried about who say what you want. I know who I am. I know who I am in Christ. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I'm working on me. I know that there's several things that need to be molded and made all over again. But God is doing that to me, okay? God is making sure he's molding and making me the way he wants me to be, not who you think I should be in your eyes and what I should say or do in your eyes. God is doing what he needs to do with me in my life for his glory, not yours. So leave people, let them be. And allow people to go through the mud sometimes. Sometimes we don't like when people going through that mud, but you don't know what God is preparing them for. They have to go down, they got to drop or fall, because he's going to pick them right back up and he's going to mold them. Right now, people are broken. You know how many people are broken? I had a Lyft ride just today, a husband and wife. And the way she spoke to her husband, I was like, I looked at her and I was embarrassed. And I looked at him and automatically she knew that in my household, my husband is number one. Okay? He's the head of my house. I don't talk down to my husband. No. She wanted some tissue for the daughter that was in the back. So he told her, he said, no, she asked me if I had tissues. I said, no, I don't have any tissues hands reach, because I put my bag in the back of the car. I was taking them to the airport and they had tons of luggage. They looked like they were going for life. Okay, that's how much luggage they had. And he was in the front seat. She was in the back seat with the daughter. The daughter knows, I guess, what's runny. And she tells him, hey, whatever his name was, pass me some tissue paper. He's like, well, it's in the bottom of the bag. She said, well, you know who packed it. It definitely wasn't me. With that type of attitude. Oh my God. I was like, I looked at her and I had a face, because you gonna know what's going on. My face will just, I don't have to say nothing. My features will just show. And I looked at her and I looked at him, and he was embarrassed. And he looked at her, and then he got his manhood. Finally, he got his manhood, and he told her, don't speak to me like that. And I said, you better had said something in front of me, embarrassing your husband. How dare you? And from then, everything was silent. But sometimes you got to make people respect you. Okay. But I could see that she was the controlling one in the relationship, and he was I'll let it slide for now. I'll let it slide. But sometimes you letting things slide too far, and then in company, all of a sudden it will be like that dam that overflowed, and then it's out of control, because she felt like she was in charge. But that's the situation sometimes on certain lift that I have to carry. I've just noticed people personality where you know who's the head and who's in charge. I hope he had a job, because she was acting like he didn't even bring the bread to the oven. Like literally, she spoke to him like she was the breadwinner. She was the man of the house, and she wore the pants. And he's just looking there like a little flunky. Back on the island, we call it flunky, meaning like you're less than a towel. You're like a little flunky, like nothing. And she was swinging him. And then when I looked at her, I was like, "Girl, you're not gonna talk like that not in my car." I mean, I didn't specifically say it, but my features just was like, I get that hair look like. And I looked at him like, you better pull your pants up, okay? And he said, don't you speak to me like that. And I said, you better had said something. He better had said something, because I would have been like, oh man, you're such a flunky. But I didn't have to say that, because he said something that I was satisfied with, and she caught it right away. All of a sudden, she just said, zoop. All the air was sucked out of the car. And I said, my gosh, really? Really? You couldn't even wait till when you had got out of the car to tell him about the tissue. You just had to make him feel less than a man in front of me. Girl, please. But anyway, that's situations that happens when a lot of time as women, we are automatically dominant. And at home, sometimes you may try certain things, but I love a man that will put you in your place in 2 seconds. Like my man, I don't know about your man. My man, oh, he will check you in 2 seconds. You will be like, and he A, B, C, D, D, W, all the way till Z. And he, in a gentle way too. It ain't no loudness. It ain't no nothing. It's like, do you hear? Really? Or you get an eye like, and then I know, oh, Paulette did probably, whew. But I'm just saying, you can't take that thing outside like that. You don't do that. You don't never talk down to your husband. Inside, outside, under the couch, don't even murmur it. You know why? Because the devil is just waiting. So he could try to make your husband look like he worth not even a lick of dime. Okay. And you don't want that. You want to edify. You want to uplift your man. You want to show him where you know that he could be, even though he may not be there yet. You want to edify him. You want to encourage him. And sometimes, guys, you got to go on the ground. Like, honey, you know you can reach the top of that mountain. That time you all the way down, and the mountain is like 150 meters high or feet high. And you're like, Lord, how is he going to get up there if he don't believe he can climb? But you got to make him believe he can climb. You got to tell him he can climb. You got to show him how you can climb with him. Sometimes we got to go and bring him up with us, That's how you got to do it. You better build your man up, And guys is mainly need to hear his wife say, great job, honey, you did an amazing job. And sometime on the inside, you like, man, you shouldn't have done that. Nobody want to hear you shouldn't have do this. And if you had listened to me, just hush, because you didn't ruin his growth. Don't say it. And it goes by vice versa too. Not only with the guys, girls does the same thing. Sometimes you want to hear your husband say, babe, you know what? You did an amazing job today. Dinner was good, even though it was lacking salt. But he can't tell her that. He can't tell her that the meat was burnt or the rice smelled smoky. He can't say it. He got to let her know that was the best seasonest thing. And then guess what? In her mind, she's going to go in there. She's going to take her time next time. She probably will turn the whole down. Anytime you're going to try to hit somebody on the hand, you better make sure that you edify them. You encourage them. You tell them all of the good that meal tasted. And then you say, next time, honey, is it possible that we could turn the whole down a little bit so we don't burn the rice? In a gentle way, not so specific, like, yeah, I'm too blunt. So, that one may not work for me. But certain people, they just know how to fix those words. And when all of a sudden, that's how you grow. Okay? And us woman and man must stop being so sensitive. Stop being so sensitive. If he told you your meat was insipid, the rice didn't have no flavor to it, don't get offended. Go do better. Go practice a little bit more. Add some fried onions to it with sweet peppers. Put a little bit of coconut oil or some flavor to it. Put some Cubito Maggies up in there. Put in some consomme. Figure out. Don't get hurt, guys. When our spouses tell us things, it's not to tear us down. It's to build us up. It's just that it comes as a constructive criticism and nobody to tell them nothing. Okay? Nobody want to tell them nothing. When I got married, this is a quick one. I'm going to just run it through. When I got married, I wasn't no big cook. I was always a cleaner. Okay? Because it's 6 of us and I was the last girl. So I was the baby at that moment in time. So my parents taught everybody else how to do all the cooking. So Paulette was the one that would do the cleaning, and I liked that. I didn't have no issues with that. I didn't have to burn my hands, burn anything. I could just go and clean the dishes after everybody finished, clean down. For me, that was my job, okay? Got married, now I had to get into the kitchen. Get in the kitchen, and every time I would season the meat, it would be salty. And my husband will tell me, and he loved pasta, right? And I remember every time I was seasoning the meat, my hand was heavy with the meat. And my husband, every time he go to the doctor, his blood pressure. Okay? Now, I didn't know all of this. We were just getting married. I was trying to do my thing. I thought I was the best cook. I thought I was Picasso's sister in the kitchen. Okay? I go in there and my hand heavy with the salt. I mean, it was like the ocean when you have that pasta because it was salty. I would put salt in the spaghetti. Too much salt in the spaghetti. So I boil it with the salt. And then I'll cook the meat and the sauce. And all of that had all the extra salt. So when you take it, it will just lift up your whole eyebrows. I'm telling you. Long story, guys. He had to tell me. He said, babe, I know I love your cooking. Your cooking is good. I see that you're passionate about it. He said, but is it possible that you could put like quarter of the salt that you do throw in it? And at first I was in my feelings. I was hurt. I was so offended because I was like, how dare you have any type of constructive criticism about my food? Because I thought that I was doing good. But I went in, and every time I go in, I remember on my conscience, okay, he's getting, his pressure is going because I'm just throwing all the salt in it. I need to adjust me. And because I loved him, every time I go in the kitchen, his little constructive criticism, instead of me getting offended of it, I said, I need to do better. So I go in and I chisel away. And guys, I perfected my pasta. And no, it's not salted anymore. After 24 years, I can go in there with my eyes closed and I know how to simmer this, get the tomatoes down to nitty gritty and put this here and a little bit of that, a little pinch of that, a little bit. And my pasta is finger licking good. But I came to say this. With everything that when growth has to happen, it's gonna hurt. Growth hurts, but it's necessary. Okay? So if you're in a relationship right now and something is not how you want it to be a little gentle when you convey it. Either side that's receiving it, don't take it like, oh my gosh, you're hurting me, and getting offended to it. Think about it and do better next time. Okay, they have this meme out, if I offended you last year, then please do better this year so you won't have to be offended again. That's like my motto right there. If I repeated something for you last year and you didn't, make sure you improve yourself. Improve yourself every day. Work on you. Leave people, let them be. However, if you're in a relationship, that's different. You have to communicate so you can grow together. Okay, so I just had to share that with you guys. Let's go down here in these comments. How much beautific. Alrighty. Hi, Sister Jakara. How are you? Welcome into Life with Paulette. I'm so far in these comments. Wonderful. Says 25 years of marriage. To God be all the glory. Yes, to God be all the glory. You know, sometimes I sit back and I was like, man, I remember the first email with me and my husband, you know, when he was like, hi. We communicated via the internet for a whole year. And that started off the beginning of the year all the way until December. And we didn't know each other. Okay, it was cyber love. We were just friends. And in December, he said, I want to meet your parents. He came on the 22nd of 22nd of March. He arrived on my island. I got engaged on the 22nd of May, and I got married on the 23rd of November. That's how our stuff went. So we communicated. He's like, are you going to be my wife? I was like, oh, he's a psychopath. I don't even know him. Like, how you mean he going to be my husband? And he don't even know me. I didn't even tell him that he was going to be my boyfriend. Like, we were just friends. And a whole year went by. And when he came, and by the way, you know, he had to ask. He was like, well, you know, in America, you know, after X, Y, and Z, we were already official. I said, we're not official yet because you didn't ask me. Yes, I sure did. One of these days, I'm going to bring him on so he can share the story with you. He just laughed. He is the opposite of me, okay? I just want you all to know this. I'm the extrovert. My husband is calm, quiet. He's okay to shine in the back. He's the thinker. He's the one that I'm running ahead and he's right there saying, look at that woman running off the cliff again. Let me go save her. That's how my husband, he's the protector. He makes sure he sits. He don't have to be out front to lead. He can lead from the back. He can lead from the side. He can lead from the bottom. That's the leader of my family. That's who I chose for the rest of my life to lead. And he's an amazing leader in our family, you know. And, you know, do we see eye to eye all the time? No. Paulette's going to be Paulette. You know, that little 1% is going to come out real quick. Probably once every 5 years she comes out, and I don't like her either, you know. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to fast to get her away. That 1% need to leave me alone. Okay, but 99%, oh yes. But that 1% will come out, and then we can't see eye to eye when the 1% is out, because I have my side of vision and he has his side of vision. And guess who's going to win? My husband, because he is the head of my house. And don't be coming up, well, you know, woman's right, woman. You need to know your place. Know your place, and then you won't have any issues. Then maybe you'll be on 20-something years of marriage too. Some folks are like 50-something. Oh my gosh, I admire those that 50 and 60 years of marriage. You imagine until death do you part with that one individual that you give all your life to? Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love to watch those 90-something year olds and they're still holding hands, or oh, that's gorgeous. Ain't that beautiful? But yeah, on another note, Sister Abrams said, that's right. Miss TNT said, oh no, communication has to be strong in every relationship. Yeah, you have to communicate too. Communication is the key. Communication has to be the key, and you can't be in your feelings, because it goes both ways. You're going to be able to speak how you feel, and he has to be able to speak how he feels from his perspective, and we both has to respect each other's perspective. That's the hardest part though, because sometimes I'm not seeing what you're seeing. You know, you may say, oh, the sky is blue, and I'm looking at it like it's blue and white to me. You know, it's not all blue. You know, there's some clouds out there. You know, you may have it from a different angle, but at the end of the day, you definitely want to sit down and talk it over. And maybe you could show him from your perspective what it is that you see. And he may say, you know what, your perspective is a little better than mine. You know, some men do that. Some men will sit down and they'll have a grown conversation, because that's grown people. All the immature ones, they won't see it. But I'm just letting you, when you get grown, you're going to be able to sit down after you done throw your tantrum. You're going to come together and you're going to sit around that table, that round table, where you have your point of view and he has his point of view. But at the end of the day, what God says. That's what's going to win all the time, all the time. So get out of your feelings, take your constructive criticism and make sure you chisel your relationship to the best of your ability to match what God intentions is for a marriage. We're not perfect, but we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. I wish you could have shared us some little tips, because 25 years versus somebody 2 to 3 years marriage can learn something from. Well, for me, like you mentioned, one of them is communications is one. And always know your position in your marriage. Like sometimes I may not see eye to eye with my husband. I'm not going to sit and argue with him. I will state where I stand and I will hush. And that's hard for Paulette to do. But I'm just saying that's what I've learned. That sometimes when you're in a relationship, you going at it and getting in your feelings, you're not solving anything. You're making things worse. Because as a man, and he's the head, he not that he's trying to trump what you're saying, but if you start putting too much force there, then he got to put a little extra elbow grease in there to say, hey, you ain't running nothing here. So you don't want to ever be in the position where he has to poke that chest out. You want to be able in the sharing position where he may say, listen, I may say, you know what, I think I need a new skirt. And he's looking at all the 20,000 skirts that I have. And he may say, you don't need, yeah, you can get a skirt, but not right now. And I may throw a tantrum. And then I'll sit down and I'll think about it. I say, you know what? Sometimes I'll cave in, and sometimes, girl, I got 1% be like, I want it now. But communication is definitely the key in any relationship, and you're not perfect because both of you all are growing. But you gotta be in a relationship with your spouse with the first intention of knowing that it's till death do you part. It's till death do you part. So you got to get out of the feelings when it comes to growth, and you're gonna grow regardless, either together or apart. And I prefer to grow together with my spouse. So if he complain or he says something to me that I need to work on, like I told you guys, I never hide this. I had a sharp tongue. Okay, for me, when I came up with the Beyoncés of the feminism, where you can do it, me too. Like I could work. Okay, you got a master's degree, I got a master's degree. You got one bachelor's. Well, guess what? I got 3. Like you got this, I got this, I got this, you got this. I could do this. I could do all well by myself. Like all that, it's crazy, But that was the era that you grow up in, and then all of a sudden you have to go back to your roots. Like I wasn't raised like that. My parents, it always, the man was the head. It was God, and then it was your husband, and then you. How all of a sudden you want to lead? You're not the leader. Find your position. You stay there humbly. And I get sometime, I may get what I want, not right then, but I'm going to get it in due time, and because I state my position and I'm going to be quiet about it, because we will tell our spouse we want this, and we think they're not listening, when in reality they're trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to fit this in? I gotta pay the mortgage, or I have to pay this, I gotta pay the car note, I gotta put food on the table, I gotta do. Guys be in their head already congested, and then up comes the wife. Well, I want this, I want that, I think we need this, we need the other thing. And he's not listening to you. It's just that he's trying to fit it in. And we got to give them the time and the space for them to do so. Okay, we got to give them the space and time. Then some of them don't roll as quick as us. We didn't went in the garden and all of a sudden we handed over the fruit. He wasn't even thinking about the fruit because he already knew that was not part of his meal. However, though, we wanted it, so we went over there and we grabbed the fruit. I don't know what fruit it is. It could have been a banana, could have been an apple, some grapes. I don't know what it was. It was a fruit. And it said we handed it to him. So he was watching us while we were over there being all curious. Okay? But let me tell y'all something. We need to stop. We need to stop. If you all want something, you all have to, you could state how you feel respectfully. and you got to just let things go and allow God to just go in. That's why you want to build your marriage and your relationship with God as the center of it, because you know that he knows what you need as well. You know, sometimes it's all about what we want, what we think we need, and what we this and the next thing, and not really what is best for us. So I would say center your relationship around God. And sometimes when you don't see eye to eye, don't spaz them out. Don't throw your tantrums to the extent where you're hurting each other's feeling. You take a deep breath and walk away. And that's what we do. We take a breath. He goes in his space. I go in my space. And at the end of the day, before the sunset, we're going to come back to talk about it. That's when everybody is probably calm and they can see eye to eye. And I have to always know, not always, I'm going to have my way. And once I've learned that, you're not going to, and he's the same, vice versa. And certain things, you're going to put your fight up and you're going to win. And certain things, it don't even work fighting. It don't work fighting. You know, some things you adjust to and you just keep it moving. My mom would say, close your eyes sometimes. Not everything you have to see. You could see, yes, it's there. However, though, why you always want to just go like fight for or argue about this or that? Yes, I know, I know the tire needs air. I know, I see it. However, though, remember, I'm also holding this, that, the other thing. I have 7 jobs. You know, can you put the little air in the tire instead of waiting for me to do it, honey? Sometimes as women, especially, I'm going to talk about me. A lot of times the things that you want, instead of always huntering him, figure out a way that you could help him. And vice versa. If the wife is the one that's out there working and you're the one that have a little bit more time, or both of you all working, it goes the same way, you have a little extra time on you, don't hinder him or her to do something that you know they should be doing because they're the spouse. You could do it. Okay, you go ahead and you do it. If the grass needs to cut and your husband have 2 million jobs and he's trying to make ends meet, you go outside. If you come from work earlier than him, go cut the grass. Why you want to fight about it? And Johnny, you know that grass needed to be cut like 2 million years ago. But you were right there. You had enough time to build an argument about the grass that needed to be cut. When you were home, you had the time. Go do it. Stop fussing and fighting off of minor things. If my car needs to wash and I feel, well, hubby didn't wash the car right now and I know that he's busy with 2 million other things, I could go wash the car. I may not go hands on and do wash on and wax off. I may run through a car wash, but at least I can see myself assisting a situation that can get a little bit, out of hand. Anything that you feel or you see that can get out of hand, and it goes both ways for even the spouses. If you get home or she get home or whoever is working and they get home and there's no food, why are you going to fuss about it? Go pull out yourself some little frozen meal and go put some bread and butter and figure out, and you help her out. Maybe she didn't feel like cooking. Maybe she was feeling a little depressed that day and she didn't feel like she wanted to go into the kitchen. Don't fuss about it, guys. We're supposed to be helpmates. We help each other finish the task. That's what it is. I'm not competing with my husband. My husband is not competing with me. We complete each other. And the things that's lacking, you go and you fill in the blanks. And that's how the relationship gets strong. Now, I have neighbors that have been married for a long time, about 50 something years. And when we ask them, what's the secret? And they're like, the husband is funny. He's like, well, all I say is yes, dear. And then she will come with her jokes and she's like, yeah, he say yes, dear, but he never do what I say. But the thing is, the peace that she feels when she say, hubby, do this or do the next thing, instead of he fussing at her, but don't tell me what to do. He say, yes, dear. And he's going to do it on his pace. And now that they're 50 something, 60 years of marriage, she understands him. It's going to get done. But not when she say it. And he knows that no sense of him fussing and answering her back. Oh, I'm going to do it when I want. And why don't you do it, Grace? And why did you? Instead of him going back and forth, he say, yes, dear, I'll get it done. And she already knows it's going to be probably 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, but it's going to get done on his timing. And that's how they found their relationship to grow. Everybody's going to have their different method of growth within their relationship, but on every level of your marriage, you're going to get to a 3-year break in your marriage where you're going to get sick of him and he's going to get sick of you. Okay? I'm just saying. And then you're going to have to go through that turmoil. You got to grow. You're going to grow. That's a growth process. Your 7th year is going to be a growth process where you get sick of him, he gets sick of you again. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute now. Okay, now Lord, show me. And it's just human nature, because you're either repeating the same thing over and over, or he's just, she is just on another level. Growth is going to happen at every stage of your marriage. At your 10th stage, you're going to have to grow. At your 13th year stage, you're going to grow. At your 17th year, when I say growth, that meaning that changes is going to start happening. Okay, you're getting older. He's getting older. Your patient level is not the same anymore. He's getting comfortable. His patient level is not the same anymore. And so guess what? You got to do a lot of this. Instead of doing a lot of this, you got to do this. Okay? A lot of prayer, a lot of fasting, and a lot of communications, where both of you all got to get on, okay, now where are we going to go? And one thing that me and my husband used to do, and we still do, is that we have goals. You set goals. Every year you have goals. Where you want to go? What do you want to do? Okay? I support his goals. He supports my goals. And that also helps keep things moving along. Because the moment you don't have a goal of where you want to go in the next 3 to 5 years, a short-term goal, a middle-term goal, a long-term goal, guys, then you're 6 feet under. And I feel like in a relationship of whatever you're going through, you should have goals. It keeps the relationship spicy too, and it don't have to always be finances. It could be like, what, next year we're going to plan. Let's plan to travel somewhere. And it don't have to be on an airplane. It could be jump in the car with the kids and do a road trip. Do something different, guys. Don't sit there and just say, well, she married me and he married me and it is what it is. Then guess what? You're not growing, because you're not learning him and he's not learning you. And everybody be like, I've learned. This is it. It's not it. You're going to grow through the process. Here are growing pains. Well, that's marriage. You're going to die daily. Certain things that you're used to and he's not used to, or he's used to, you're not used to, you're going to have to die. And sometimes woman will die a little bit more than a man, and most of the time the man is going to be the one that's going to die, because he want to make sure that she's loved well, or feel like she loved well, depending on the needs of each. Okay, some man is more needy than the woman, some woman is more needy than the man, all depending on that. But if you love each other, guys, grow together, not like this. You grow like this in prayer. Put God first in everything. Let's see through these chats. Perfect couple by God's grace. Wonderful and beautifully said, Sister Paulette. Thank you. Miss TNT says, a real relationship will not see eye to eye all the time. If that was the case, it's not a real relationship. Exactly. I think I mentioned that earlier too. It's not. You're not going to see each other eye to eye. Never. Okay? Right now, my husband and I don't see eye to eye when it comes to certain things like finances or building or investing. He may invest different than I do. I feel like I'm not a risky investor, but I don't mind a little bit of risk to get where I want to go. For him at his stage, he's like, I won't do it that way. I like upfront. I'm not so much a short investor. I'm more a long-term investor. So his thought process, it's not that we're not going the same way. It's just that the way of him doing it and my doing, we don't see eye to eye when it comes to investing. Okay, we see differently. And like even when we were raising our kids, it was like, oh, well, when I was raised, it was like this. And I would be like, well, when I was raised, it was like this. But at the end of the day, the one that stays with the kids, that's the one that's going to impose how they were raised. Hopefully you have the great upbringing so that one wins. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. If the man is there and he's imposed, and then it gets to the point where both will share and you get a little bit of everything. And then you make one big stuff, and together, everything is better together. Miss TNT say, yes, I love to see my elder couple still together as well. Oh, yes, that's beautiful. Hello, Sugar. How are you doing today? Good to see you, sister. Oh, no, that's different. Yes, my husband tell me I can't get no skirt. Then that's totally fine. But respect plays a big part. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And you know, it's not that he's saying you can't get a skirt right now. It's probably not right now. And I mean, we can't keep throwing tantrums, you know. I mean, I would love to go. I want to go to Paris from we got married. I haven't gone there yet. It's not that I'm not going to go. It's just not right now. That, you understand what I'm saying? But every once in a while I'd be like, babe, you know, I still want to go see the Eiffel Tower. He's like, oh, I know. But he got it in his brains. He got to adjust that. He got to fix that so that way when he do take his wife, it's going to be the best trip ever. And I'm looking forward to it. But I'm just saying, I'm not pressuring him, even though I want to go to Paris. I'm not going to pressure him. I already told him what I want. He already know what I want. I need to back off now and let him get creative and figure it out, you know. So 20 something years in, I wanted to go to Paris. I still want to go to Paris. I haven't gone to Paris. So pray for me so that when I do remind him, you know, this holiday, hey babe, are we going to go to Paris anytime next year or the other year before that, another one, you know, maybe he would listen and consider. Okay, that's all I got to say. Certain things we're going to get it, but not in our timing. Is you got to let them get creative and figure it out because they don't want to fail either. You know, they want to get you a skirt, but they don't want to get you probably a Temu skirt or a Shein skirt. They might probably want to get you a skirt that's going to last, not going to shrink by the time you wash it 1 or 2 times. It's all short again. You probably want to get you good material skirt, and they're going to cost a little bit more, so you got to wait a little bit longer. That's it. That's how I adjust it in my head. Is have a person tell you what you can't have. Yes, that's it. Is how a person tells you. My husband is excellent at cooking anything. Look at you. Ooh. And I thought you were the cook, but both of you all look like you could cook because all those pictures that you sent me, sister, they were nice. Oh my gosh, we have an hour. It's been on here an hour. I can't believe it. Miss TNT said, that's right, Sister Paul, that you are telling the truth. That's right, sister. Well, I've been on here for an hour. I didn't even know an hour went by. But anyway, if you all are just coming in here, go hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. And you know, hopefully this is a great conversation for you guys. I know I talked a little bit about everything, and sometimes you just got to let it all out. I know that I said I was going to be 30 minutes, probably a little 15 minutes, you know, here and there. But I've been on here for an hour that I'm not getting my shmoney. So I'm going to go ahead and say a bitty good eve to you guys. I love you guys. Like I say, I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget, Reset Tuesday don't only include your dreams and goals. It also include your daily walk in Christ. You know, sometimes we need to reset ourselves and figure out, Lord, what it is that I'm doing, you know, that I could do a little bit better for your glory. And that's what I check myself. I'm mastering me. Paulette is mastering Paulette. Paulette is making sure that Paulette knows what right and wrong looks like at her pace. And like I mentioned in the beginning or the middle of this video, let people grow at their pace and no rush, and pray for them. If they're not doing what you want them to do on their timing, just pray for people and stop trying to bully people into doing what you want them to do when you are lacking yourself. Love y'all. Mwah. I bid you good eve. Deuces. Until next time, guys. I gotta go. I gotta get my shmoney.